Good morning, Year 4. It's Mrs. Conboy here today. I'm really looking forward to today's lesson. In today's lesson, we're looking at rivers that are in the United Kingdom. Who can remember the countries that make up the United Kingdom? Have a think. Call them out. Well done. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Well done if you got all of those correct. Get ready with your home learning book and a pen and a pencil. Now the WART, and I'd like you to write this down now, is to identify the major rivers of the United Kingdom, of the UK. So write the WART down now in your home learning book. Great. We're now ready to move on with the rest of the lesson. And I thought we'd start off with a question. How many rivers in the UK do you know? Have a think. See if you can shout them out now. Great. I'm now going to share with you some of the major rivers in the United Kingdom. There's the Tamar, the Dart, the Foy, the Plym, the Avon, the Trent, the Wye, the Ouse, the Severn, the Thames, the Great Ouse, and the next question is, can you choose one of these rivers? Because one of them is the longest river in the United Kingdom. Which one do you think it is? Write it down in your book. So write down the name of one of the rivers that you can see on the screen. Just make a decision. Which one do you think is the longest? Good thinking. Let me share the answer with you. You might have got it right. Don't worry if you got it wrong, but I just wanted you to have a good look at all the different names of the rivers in the United Kingdom. It's the river, can I hear you call it out? Well done, it's the River Severn. So give yourself a tick if you got that right. If you didn't get it right, please write it down now next to the river that you chose. If you didn't choose Severn, the River Severn, write it next to the one that you chose. I hope you've noticed that all of these river names start with a capital letter because they are proper nouns. So make sure that throughout the PowerPoint, I ask you to write notes that you make sure you have a capital letter when you're talking about a river and it's the river name. Here's a map that shows the United Kingdom. I wonder if you look closely, can you see the River Thames? See if you can point it out. And then I'd like you to find the longest river in the UK. Which is, shout it out. Yes, the River Severn. Can you find the River Severn on the map? I'll give you a clue because it starts in Wales. Well done if you managed to find the Thames and the River Severn. Now, what we're going to do now is I'm going to give you some information about the major rivers in the United Kingdom. And what I'm going to ask you to do is to write notes. So be ready. River Severn. Now, the River Severn, we've already discovered, is the longest river in the United Kingdom. But how long is it? Let's read the number together after three. 1, 2, 3. 354 kilometres. So what I'd like you to do now is to write River Severn and write down how long it is. Well done. Let's find out some more about this amazing river. And while I'm reading, you can write down maybe 2 or 3 other facts about the River Severn. I'm going to show you 2 slides. Now, the River Severn, we've already discovered, is the longest river in Britain. Its source is in Mount Plynimon in the west of Wales. Can you see that on the map there? It flows northeast to Shrewsbury. You can see Shrewsbury at the top. It turns southeast and then southwest. The mouth of the river is the Severn Estuary that flows into the Bristol Channel. Have a look at all that information and choose at least one fact that you would like to add to your notes about the River Severn. So I might just write flows into the Bristol Channel. I might say it flows northeast to Shrewsbury. So choose one fact and write it down now in your home learning book. I know that some of you might even write more than one fact. Great work here, Paul. I'm now going to show you another slide, which will give you more information about the River Severn. Wow, has many tributaries, including the River Perry. The River Severn is connected to the Thames River. It's home to the world's longest suspension bridge, the Severn Road Bridge. And it is an important transportation route. So choose one of the facts that you like the sound of and add that to your notes now. So you might write, connected to the Thames River. Please note that Thames has got a capital T. You might write, world's longest suspension bridge. You might write, it has many tributaries. So you choose one of the facts about the River Severn and add it to your notes now. Lovely. I'm going to move on now. Can you guess the name of this river? Call it out. There's lots of clues there in the picture. Yes, I'm sure we all know it's the River Thames. And the River Thames is how long? Let's say the number together after 3. 1, 2, 3. 346 kilometres. So can you write down the Thames? 346 kilometres is your first note. Now I'm going to read out some facts about the Thames, and I'd like to see if you can copy down at least one of the facts that you find really interesting. The Thames flows through London, the capital city, and has played a central role in British history for some 2,000 years. From the Roman invasions of 43 BC to the turn of the millennium in AD 2000, some of the most famous events in British history have taken place on or near the Thames. These include the signing of the Magna Carta in 1215, the plot to blow up the Houses of Parliament in 1605, and the Great Fire of London in 1666. So have a look again at those notes and you write down at least one fact about the River Thames. You might just write down flows through London. You might decide that you're going to write down that it's seen some of the most famous events, e.g., the blow up of the Houses of Parliament in 1605. Just choose one of the facts from the slide. Lovely, well done. So I'm going to move on and introduce you to another river in the United Kingdom. So get ready to take some notes and wonder what it's going to be called. It's the River Trent. So I'd like you to write down River Trent. Let's see how many kilometres long is it? Let's say after 3, 1, 2, 3. 297 kilometres. So make sure you make a note of the length of the River Trent. Now, this river is the third longest river in the United Kingdom. It meanders through the Midlands. So choose a fact there that you like the sound of and write it in your book now next to the River Trent. Let's think about meanders, what that actually means. And I'm going to share a slide with you now that shows that. And there we can see a river that's meandering. Now, meanders means it twists and turns and carves into the landscape. And this is all caused by the river. So if you want to add just a note that the River Trent meanders, that would be perfect. So just put meanders. And you can see from this wonderful photograph how the river is meandering. It's twisting and turning and carving into the landscape. Let's look at the next river. It's the River Wye. Like to write that down for me? River Wye. And we can see how long it is. And we're going to say how long it is after 3. 1, 2, 3. 250 kilometres. Now, the River Wye follows a route which takes it close to the border with Wales. So that's a key fact now that you might just write close to the border with Wales. In fact, it actually forms part of the border as a natural obstacle. So choose a fact about the River Wye that you'd like to add to your notes. Well done, Year 4. So hopefully on your page now, you're developing lots of information about these different rivers in the United Kingdom. Because your task now is to use your notes to create a table called Major Rivers of the United Kingdom. So what I've got an example of is how you could set out your table with river, and you could write the name of the river, the length of the river, and some facts about the river that you've discovered today. So see if you can put at least 2 of your facts. Now, if you want to draw a picture of a river to go with each of your facts, that would be lovely. So your aim is to use your notes to create a table. Remember, when we're drawing a table, we need to make sure that we use a ruler and a pencil so that we have a fabulous looking smart table. Now the challenge is to use an atlas if you have one at home and see if you can find these rivers on a map. Enjoy.